सबको पता है।
Gold Plus glasses that build the nation. Clear glass that shows the world. Mirrors that reflect dreams. Reflective glass that shields from the sun. And build homes that bring families together. Our country, our glass. Gold Plus glass.
Chandigarh, Coimbatore, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there. Veka's been just everywhere.
सोच रहा हूँ टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले लूं ताकि मेरे बाद फैमिली को पैसों की कमी ना हो। सुन तू भी
फिनिस्टा विंडोज, ब्यूटीफुल एंड ड्यूरेबल डिजाइन्स, इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनिस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
फिनिस्टा। जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी तो मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती हैं। तो जब ये रियलाइज हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की जरूरत नहीं है, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया। कशित आई
ऐसे बॉय मिलते मुंबई में, चांस ही नहीं।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
Good evening, you're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Padmaja Joshi. What a news-packed Monday, in fact a news-packed weekend it has been. But as always on every story that matters, the buck stops here. After 16 days across Bihar, the Vote Adhikar Yatra by Rahul Gandhi culminated in Patna today with a massive power show with allies like the RJD, VIP, Samajwadi Party, TMC, JMM, all of them flanking him. Rahul Gandhi travelled from Gandhi Maidan to Ambedkar, and after paying homage to Baba Saheb Ambedkar, declared that what he has said so far is only a trailer. Bigger things are yet to come. To his press conference earlier, where he had alleged massive vote chori in Karnataka during the Lok Sabha elections, the LOP today said that expose, that press conference was only an atom bomb. Going ahead, his party is preparing to explode an even bigger and an even more lethal hydrogen bomb.
बीजेपी के लोग अच्छी तरह सुन लीजिए भैया, एटम बम का नाम सुना है आपने? सुना है एटम बम का नाम? उससे बड़ा क्या होता है? उससे बड़ा क्या होता है? एटम बम से बड़ा हाइड्रोजन बम होता है। होता है नहीं होता है? मधुपुरा में हमने एटम बम दिखाया था। बीजेपी के लोगों तैयार हो जाओ, हाइड्रोजन बम आ रहा है।
नफरती परों से अब आप एटम बम और हाइड्रोजन बम की बात बोलते हैं। यह देश को समझना चाहिए राहुल गांधी गैर जिम्मेवार हैं। इस देश को समझना चाहिए राहुल गांधी इज इररिस्पॉन्सिबल।
नया नारा चला है बिहार में, वोट छोड़ गद्दी छोड़। इसको प्ले कीजिए आप, लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। वहां भी बोल रहे हैं लोग, चाइना में भी लोग बोल रहे हैं वोट छोड़ गद्दी छोड़, अमेरिका में भी बोल रहे हैं।
इस पूरे SIR के पीछे जो ये अभियान चल रहा है, इसका पर्पस यही है, गिव अस द राइट एंड द माइट टू कैप्चर बूथ्स, टीयर अवे बैलेट पेपर्स एंड इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स को वोट देने दो। तो ये अब नहीं चलेगा। ये बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं।
Well, as the Congress promised to sharpen its vote chori attack even further and cause a massive explosion The BJP hit back with its own interpretation of the yatra. First, the Home Minister and now Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan declared that the real intent of the yatra was not to save the people's vote, but was to actually save the Congress's infiltrator vote bank. They even said that all of these claims that a hydrogen bomb, a massive explosion is just around the corner, shows nothing more than the immaturity of the opposition leader.
क्योंकि मैं उन लोगों में से हूं जिनकी दृढ़ मान्यता है इस देश में एक भी घुसपैठिया कहीं पर नहीं रहना चाहिए। आज भी इलेक्शन कमीशन मतदाता सूची का शुद्धिकरण कर रहा है, एसआईआर कर रहा है। कुछ पार्टियां इसके विरुद्ध घुसपैठिया बचाओ यात्रा लेकर निकली। मैं असम के युवाओं को आज पूछना चाहता हूं, किसी भी देश की मतदाता सूची देश के लोकतंत्र का हृदय होती है। मतदाता सूची में विदेशी नागरिकों को स्थान मिलना चाहिए। इतने सारे प्रबुद्ध जन बैठे हैं, मुझे कहे कि मतदाता सूची में विदेशी नागरिक को स्थान मिलना चाहिए क्या?
और आजकल बिहार में क्या हो रहा है? रैलियां निकल रही, यात्राएं। वो यात्रा वोट चोरी की यात्रा नहीं है, घुसपैठिया बचाओ यात्रा है। घुसपैठिया गठबंधन बना हुआ है, एसआईआर के नाम पे हल्ला हो रहा है। घुसपैठिया गठबंधन वाले कैसे घुसपैठिए बने रहे वोटर लिस्ट में? अरे दूसरे देश से आए तो भैया कहां से आए हो, कब आए हो, कैसे आए हो? हमारा देश है कि धर्मशाला?
And that brings us to the big questions on which the buck stops today. I.N.D.I.A blocks vote chori campaign. Is it really a bomb or bust? And while the opposition hopes to have the yatra and the chori message drive its momentum before the elections, are facts actually getting in the way of the promised firecrackers? Let's take this across to the guests. Joining us now, we have Sajjan Kumar, political analyst, Suraj Yadav Mandal, spokesperson of the Congress, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. But my first question is to senior journalist and political analyst Ashutosh. What is your sense now that we've seen the last 16 days, Ashutosh? Has this message of vote chor gaddi chor, that any kind of vote chori is taking place, percolating to the voter, or is this more politics and less messaging?
See, Padmaja, my sense is, and I'm still not finally concluded, but is this vote chori campaign is turning out to be a Bofor's kind of a campaign which was launched in 1986-87 against the Rajiv Gandhi government? Because if that going to happen, then it's going to be really very bad news for the BJP itself and for the Modi government. Because this is something which, the people have some doubts in their minds. And if this doubt persists in the minds of the people, then certainly this will damage not only the BJP, but this will also damage the image of the Prime Minister. And that is what the opposition led by Rahul Gandhi is trying to do. Because today what he has said, that in Mahadevpura they dropped an atom bomb. Now he is going to drop a hydrogen bomb. So that means something bigger than Mahadevpura. If that happens, then what the Election Commission will do and how the BJP will respond, that has to be seen. And I have been arguing this from the day one, that the day one when the Mahadevpura claim was made by Rahul Gandhi, Election Commission on the day itself should have countered not only strongly, but should have also gone for a kind of inquiry and investigation. And should have either proved Rahul Gandhi right or proved Rahul Gandhi wrong. If Rahul Gandhi was proved wrong, then it would have been suicidal for Rahul Gandhi.
So we'll talk about the specifics of Mahadevpura and whether it was an atom bomb and what hydrogen bomb is round the corner. But Sanju Verma, already the big firepower is being brought out. Rahul Gandhi has promised a hydrogen bomb, but before that comes, Ashutosh is saying this is like a Bofor's gun. which is going to smash your party and the image.
Padmaja, I cannot hear you at all. Your voice is breaking. Can you please have your team fix the audio? I could only gather bits and pieces of your question.
I'll do that in 10 seconds. I'll try and repeat my question as well. Ashutosh says the Vote Adhikar Yatra and the Vote Chori campaign is a Bofors gun. It's going to destroy your party and the Prime Minister's image.
I can't hear you at all.
Okay, we'll try and fix that. We'll try and fix that in just a second. But do we have the Mahadevpura tally, the data for Mahadevpura up yet? Can I go across to it now? All right, so let me actually show you, Ashutosh. Here's the thing, you know, sometimes it is all about the mahal. It is great politics. You talk about getting the voter invested in what your allegations are. But purely talking about what the Mahadevpura, no, this is not the correct one. This is about the RJD. Let's look at the other table for Mahadevpura. Right. So what was the allegation of the Congress party? They said that in the Lok Sabha election, there are 8 assembly segments within the Bangalore Central Lok Sabha seat. Congress led in all 7 except Mahadevpura, and suddenly in Mahadevpura there was a huge spike in the BJP's votes, and which is why PC Mohan won that Lok Sabha seat from Bengaluru Central. Now, the data doesn't bear it out. Why? Because there was no unusual spike in Mahadevpura at all. In fact, Mahadevpura Assembly constituency came into being in 2008 after delimitation, and since that time, right from 2008 to 2023 Assembly elections, BJP has actually only gone from strength to strength in that particular seat. Mahadevpura is actually a stronghold of the BJP. In the last election, they were facing a bit of anti-incumbency in the assembly polls. They changed their candidate and they actually had a winning margin of 13.3%. And that is why I asked Sajjan Kumar, the rhetoric is great, but is data coming in the way, and is it going to be more about creating the mahal? Because we hear a lot of voters actually talk about the few discrepancies and say, हमें घबराहट हो रही है, हमें अगर हमारा vote कट गया. Has Rahul Gandhi, irrespective of this data, managed to get that feeling into the voters' mind that हमारा vote कट गया तो क्या होगा? हमें घबराहट हो रही है.
No, certainly not. I mean, if you take the ground sentiment on the Bihar, there are lots many issues that can be used against the incumbent NDA, JDU and BJP. But certainly SIR is not the prime determinant into the minds of the electorate. So at this juncture, this is primarily something to rejuvenate the weak cadre base of the Congress party. And therein the RJD, which was not very enthusiastic at the beginning of SIR campaign, started by the Congress, because mind it, RJD has invested more than around 48,000 agents who are assisting the election commission in this exercise, but slowly they gave in and have started participating. So on the ground, the resonance is not there. Second, it's not about the data. It's about how you attribute intentionality in reading the data. Take, for example, the case of Tripura, a tiny northeastern state. You know, in 2013, BJP vote tally in Tripura was less than 2%. In 2014 also, Lok Sabha election, it was around 1.4%. But in 2018, when BJP won the state, it got around 43% of the popular votes. Was it vote chori? We do see certain turnaround. Now the question is, when you start a campaign by saying that Congress has been marginalized since 2014, not because of organizational weakness, not because of leadership weakness, not because of the baggage of the UPA, but primarily because the votes were stolen. So it means that you want the entire country to believe that had there been no bungling with the vote base, Congress still, with the leadership of Rahul Gandhi, have been ruling the country. Now, this is beyond imagination, because even the vitriolic anti-BJP political analysts, scholars, say for example CSDS Suhas Palsikar, Ramchandra Guha and others, they all have been attributing the failure to the leadership of the Rahul Gandhi.
Mr. Mandal, Mandal, you can create the mahal, but the facts do not add up.
No, I think you did not have invited the Congress at all. The whole narrative is you have already set up a mind. Let me first, since you have invited me, let me
Mr. Mandal,
put across my point.
Narrative. There is data,
Of course,
and
what you're
data
discussing
doesn't change.
No, do you want to listen what I
Data
have to
stays
say?
the same. I do not appreciate starting with a comment which is
No,
factually
let
wrong.
me tell you. What
There is
they
no
tell you,
narrative. I started by saying that very often it is all about convincing the voter of your message. And has your message percolated? Ashutosh says yes. Sajjan Kumar says no. Now, I'm coming to you for an answer, but you cannot have a preconceived notion that this debate is against me. Counter me with facts.
Will you allow me to put my point across?
100%. But no personal slurs, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me first say that I have been part of this yatra and I have been on the ground. I am a voter from Madhepura in Bihar. My vote, which was there is narrative going on that there is no complaint. Every vote which has been updated says you go and meet the BLO. My own family members, some of them, their votes have been cut. And when you go across to the BLO, they are not found. They only have the app. The Supreme Court said that you have to give the reasons for cutting the votes. You have to see it from the app of the BLOs, and BLOs are not available. Secondly, now what you have said on the ground, there has been massive upsurge. Ashutosh ji just now gave the example of Bofors. I remember only two things. One was when Srimati Gandhi visited Belchi, and there was a whole change of scene all over India. And secondly, what has happened this time is every place where this yatra has gone, it has become not something in which you have to mobilize the people.
Okay.
People have poured in, and this shows that they have their concerns. And the concern is mainly that when we are asking about a vote constitutional right, when we say, and what was the alternative left to Rahul Gandhi?
Okay, Sanju Verma, respond to that. That Ashutosh has said this is a Bofors moment that is going to blow up in your face, and it has a momentum of its own, so much so that Rahul Gandhi today is saying that even in China and US, vote chor gaddi chhod has become the rallying cry. Sanju Verma.
I mean, it's sad. You know, you guys don't even have your audio system in place, Padmaja. I've been coordinating with your logistics team for the last 12 minutes.
Okay, I have no idea what to say about that. I think there is some issue with your audio connection because everyone seems to be doing just fine. Sajjan Kumar, would you want to respond to that? Can we please fix that? Sajjan Kumar.
No, I mean, I cannot vouch for each and every. I also belong to North Bihar, Muzaffarpur, and the BLO presence is quite active. They are quite reachable. There are certain kind of lack of documents, etc., but that is quite normal, which you find in any exercise. In fact, if you are aware about Bihar, more than SIR and this entire vote theft campaign, what is really concerning people is the land survey that is going on right now in district by district arena. So if you are aware, you will know that what is the factor wherein the people are really concerned about everyday life. This is one. Two, as I said, there is a pattern to this entire campaign because you see from 2014 to 2024, we have three Lok Sabha elections. So 2014 and 2019 was attributed by the BJP baiters to communal polarization and hyper-nationalism. Then after 2019, you saw the emergence of a technological factor that was attributed for the victory of BJP, the hoax of EVM. Then suddenly in 2023, you see a very discredited propagandist research paper coming from one of the private university claiming that there have been certain vote manipulation. And he was disgraced, he has to resign. But that plank was embraced by the Congress, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and EVM hoax was abandoned. Now you see vote Chori and vote Adhikar Yatra. The central plank is that somehow you have to discredit the entire electoral process and attribute the victory of the ruling dispensation to certain bogus measure. This is some sort of abandoning your own plank because you can be in opposition and yet you can own the defeat and go to the people with certain positive policy measure rather than creating sort of campaign which aims to delegitimize not only one of the constitutional body, but entire democratic process itself.
And at what
this is
cost?
deeply
At what cost?
problematic.
Again, let me quote only data, because this is not about conjecture. This is not about saying he said, she said. Let me actually point out some data to you from Bihar, because Mr. Mandal, you belong to Bihar as well.
First,
you know, the
respond
Vote
to him
Adhikar
that
Yatra
you have
has
been
been
given
kicked off from Bihar. But let me quote to you some data from Bihar and what it shows us over the years. Now, you've said, and Rahul Gandhi said, that vote chori was started in 2014, then it went to Gujarat, then it has been done across the country. But do you know that the principal opposition party to the BJP in Bihar, which is the RJD, has actually seen its performance become even better election after election? Why do we say that? 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the RJD's vote share was 15.68%. In the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, it climbed to 22.14%. However, the vote chore, the so-called vote chore BJP's vote share went from 23.57% in 2019 to only 20.52%. The highest vote share, by the way, in the 2024 Lok Sabha election in Bihar, among all the parties, was that of the RJD. The RJD got the highest vote share during the Lok Sabha elections. And it's not just that. Their seat tally increased from 0 in 2019 to 4. Whereas when it comes to the BJP, their tally was reduced from 17 to 12. The JDU's tally also, Mr. Mandal, went down from 16 in 2019 to only 12 in 2024. So this, again, according to data, is the most botched up vote chori that the BJP is doing, where their seat share is going down, their vote share is going down. Mr. Mandal. All right, we seem to have lost Mr. Mandal as well. It is just like I said, it is just one of those days where I think the systems are acting up on us. Ashutosh, what does this data tell us? RJD has actually done better than 2019 and 2024.
See, Padmaja, I'm a firm believer that the politics is not about data, politics is not about reality. Politics is all about how you manage perception. And let me tell you, this in the pursuit to manage this perception, I think for the first time, I'm witnessing that the BJP and the Modi government is failing miserably. And I'm very sure about it. They are miserably failing in this course, because you know, if Rahul Gandhi was telling a lie to the whole world, and if what was Rahul Gandhi was saying was not based on truth, a time-bound investigation, if it happened for the Mahadevpura data which he has provided, Rahul Gandhi would have been proved wrong. Then Rahul Gandhi's political career would have been in the serious jeopardy. But the problem is that the Election Commission refused to do that. They insisted on the affidavit. And Rahul Gandhi said, I'm not doing anything like that. So the debate continued. In the last 2 months, if you look at carefully, almost every TV channels or almost every next day is debating this whole exercise, either through SIR or through Mahadevpura or Rahul Gandhi's vote yatra. So the perception which is getting into the minds of the people is whether they recognize SIR or whether SIR.
So you think he's managed to seed that idea, even if past data does not support his claims, that idea has been seeded.
10 seconds. So what is happening is the doubt is being created in the minds of the people.
Okay, only 10 seconds because I must go to Sanju Verma. It's 20 minutes into the debate and I think the hydrogen bomb that was being threatened, Sanju Verma, was dropped on your connection. I hope you can finally hear me now.
Yes, am I loud and clear?
Yes, you are loud and clear as always. The idea has been seeded. Man on the ground thinks कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. And that is the real hydrogen bomb. Sanju Verma.
Padmaja, first and foremost, many congratulations on your big assignment. And now, you know, to the moot point of the debate, you know, whether Rahul Gandhi ने atom bomb छोड़ा है या hydrogen bomb छोड़ेंगे या झुमरी तलैया में जाके press conference करेंगे या Jupiter या Mars पर जाएंगे, I don't want to dignify Rahul Gandhi's statement, but let me give hard data for the benefit of your audience. What has Rahul Gandhi been telling Padmaja for the longest time? ये बार-बार आखिर बीजेपी चुनाव कैसे जीतती है? बार-बार यदि बीजेपी चुनाव जीतती है, इसका मतलब बीजेपी धांधलेबाजी कर रही है. The word used by Rahul Gandhi is Election Commission और बीजेपी मिलकर धांधलेबाजी करते हैं. So I want to ask Rahul Gandhi through your show, Bengal, 1947 to 1977, 30 years. Who ruled West Bengal? Congress Party. Uttar Pradesh 1950 to 1989, 39 years. Who ruled? The Congress Party. Bihar 1947 to 1989, 42 years. Who ruled Bihar? The Congress Party. Maharashtra between 1960 and 2014, by and large, barring ikka-dukka instances, it was the Congress or its allies that ruled Maharashtra and Padmaja. In Karnataka, starting from 1956 to 2025, in the last 69 years, out of those 69 years, 44 years, it is the Congress Party which ruled Karnataka. So my first point is, for the longest time in post-independent India, ये तो हम सबको पता है कि 54 साल, 54 years, it was the Congress Party which ruled the center. But Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, some of the biggest states, कहीं 30 साल, कहीं 40 साल, कहीं 50 साल, the Congress had a one-way run. BJP never cried foul. And now let me give some very interesting data for the benefit of your audience.
Okay.
Since Maharashtra is what started this entire thing, I've not been able to listen to what the others say, but I've debated enough with Ashutosh to know what he might have said. So let me give this data. And this is something that your audience needs to listen to very carefully. In Maharashtra, this is what happened. The year was 1985. The increase in voter share for the Congress Party was 24.57%. In 1990, the increase in voter share was 35.14%. In 1995, it was 30.73%. But in 1999, the voter share fell by 12.24%. Again, it rose in 2004 by 20.72%, 2009 by 8.01%, 2014 by 16.58%, 2019 by 4.17%, 1 minute, and 2024 by 16.76%. Limited point is, from 1985 onwards, चाहे वोटर काउंट इंक्रीज हुआ हो या गिरा हो, वोटर शेयर इंक्रीज हुआ हो या गिरा हो, the Congress Party won Maharashtra. 8 out of 10 Maharashtra assembly elections were won by the Congress Party between 1985 and 2014. It was 2014 that Devendra Fadnavis and BJP won. Then in 2019, we were the largest party, but we formed a government for a short period and Uddhav Thackeray came in. Then again, he was dislodged. My limited point is, how is it 1985 से कांग्रेस पार्टी लगातार महाराष्ट्र में सत्ता में आती रही है, सरकार बनाती रही है, बीजेपी never cried foul.
Okay, answer that, Mr. Mandal.
BJP won elections, now you guys are behaving like a bunch of sore losers.
Even when the results don't really prove your point, the moment you think that it's not going your way, you say that the entire machinery is compromised. And I think you got disconnected at that time. I had actually shown figures of how your alliance partner, the RJD, which was a part of your voter Adhikar Yatra, has actually bettered its performance between the last Lok Sabha elections and 2024 in Bihar, the same place where you are saying vote chori is happening, Mr. Mandal.
That doesn't prove what what we are saying. Number one. Number two.
How? How? You are saying vote chori is happening, but RJD's vote share is going up.
To speak.
Going up by 7%.
No. Do you want me to put forth my point? You are certainly interrupting. I am telling you how this proves. Now the gentleman right now said that who comes from Muzaffarpur, that all the BLOs are there and everything is all right over there. Let me tell you, and he was saying hoax of EVM. Now, he doesn't have the point to how it is a hoax to prove that. Even the United States people are all the time saying that that is not the correct way to and the credible way to hold an election. Secondly, in Maharashtra, it was not just one of the reports. There is an organization called Vote for Democracy.
Mr. Mandal, we can, keep shifting the goalpost and talk about multiple things. I am asking you a straightforward question. You stood in Bihar over the last 16 days and said that RJD, VIP and Congress votes are being stolen. I have shown you data which proves that RJD's performance has become better in the last 5 years in terms of the seats that they have won, in terms of their vote share. Then how does it show vote chori? It should have decreased, right, if vote chori is happening.
again, what I'm saying, do you want me to say? That doesn't prove us wrong, number one.
How doesn't it prove you wrong? Sir, if in
Listen to me, how does it
2019
prove?
the NDA wins 39 out of 40 Lok Sabha seats and
so
you
what
reduce
does
the
that-
tally in 2024,
No, that is due to
you
vote
have
chori.
actually chipped away their vote. You have taken their vote. आपने उनका vote legally चोरी किया है. Through the ballot box, I would like to believe. Through the EVM. And I don't like to use the word चोरी. आपने उनका vote खींच लिया अपनी तरफ.
नहीं, use it because chores are there. Number one. Number two, you have said 60, what I am going to say, right? Please give me 2 minutes and just listen to me. 2025 January, the summary revision of the electoral rolls were held in Bihar. After that, suddenly on 25th of June, the election commission comes up that there should be an intensive revision. Now, after that intensive revision, it announces cutting off of 65 lakh of votes. Now, those votes also include people who have been declared dead, who have been shown displaced. We have a law in this country in which NRIs can come and vote in this country.
Mr. Mandal, again, see, we have addressed a lot of this, and like I said, we can keep shifting the goalpost and talk about discrepancies which have been addressed or which have to be addressed by the ECI, or we can talk about specifics. Here's the difference between political rhetoric and fact. Do you know that in 2005, I want to show you this newspaper report, and this is not me. This is a magazine article from the 23rd of May 2005. Do you know what happened in 2005? It's a very interesting story. I think everyone would want to hear this, and Ashutosh ji would be able to bear me out on this as well. May 23, 2005, this magazine article says that the latest victim of Lalu Prasad is the Election Commission. He has called for the resignation of election commissioners B.B. Tandon and N. Gopalaswamy in the wake of wild accusations against them. What are these accusations? That there was a senior bureaucrat who said that the election of the Chhapra Lok Sabha constituency in Bihar was countermanded because the election commissioners are casteist and anti-Yadavs. So Lalu Prasad, who was actually a part of your ministry in 2005 at the center, asked for the election commissioners to be sacked. And the then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, said, this is nothing more than politics. I respect what Laluji is saying, but I will take no action against the election commissioners. Now, would you say that at that time, you were doing vote chori of Lalu Prasad in Chhapra?
Let me give
because
you another
didn't act
story.
Against the election commissioners. You stood by them. You were in government.
Do you want me to? Let me tell you another story. Have you heard about Lingdo? And who was the chief minister of Gujarat called Narendra Modi? How did he go against Lingdo and what all he called him?
My question. This is not a better
No, I'm answering
session.
your question.
We are telling each other stories. I had a specific question.
Which has nothing to do.
I am making the distinction between politics over the issue of election commission. You recognize that Laluji at that time was just doing politics over the election commissioners and you didn't act against them.
What was Narendra Modi doing in Gujarat? What was Narendra Modi doing in Gujarat? When he was calling names to
Sanju Verma,
Lingdo.
quick rebuttal, then I'll go to Ashutosh. Yes.
Okay. My quick rebuttal, my first point is this. The Congress party, taking forward what you're saying, Padmaja, the Congress party's vote share was 39.53% in the general elections in 1989, thereabouts. In 2024, it rose to 41.33%. तो पहली बात तो ये बीजेपी का आप कहते हो इलेक्शन कमिश्नर है, बीजेपी के इलेक्शन कमिश्नर के नाक के नीचे आपका 41% से भी ज्यादा वोट शेयर है, तो रोना धोना आपको उसकी जरूरत है नहीं. But I will give one very interesting bit of data which I think has been quoted umpteen times. Rahul Gandhi says महाराष्ट्र में 5 बजे the voter turnout was 58.22%. 6 बजते वोटर टर्नआउट बढ़ के हो गई 66.05%. 1 minute, Padmaja, I know you've given this data. He says Maharashtra voter turnout rose by 7.83%. Okay. तेलंगाना में क्या हुआ राहुल गांधी जी? तेलंगाना में 5% वोटर, 5 बजे वोटर टर्नआउट was 52.14%. 6 p.m. voter turnout was 63.94%. A rise of 11.8%. Telangana was won by the Congress party. BJP lost. बीजेपी ने आकर पद्मजा जोशी या किसी और एंकर के शो पर रोना धोना नहीं किया. बट वेट, द बिग डैडी ऑफ देम ऑल, कर्नाटका 2023 असेंबली इलेक्शंस, 5 p.m. voter turnout 57.94%, 6 p.m. 71.84%, a 13.9% increase. BJP was wiped out with barely 43 or 44 odd seats in Karnataka Vidhan Sabha 2023 elections. The Congress, had a handsome victory.
So you've given this data.
BJP leader
It's hard data. But here's the thing. Ashutosh had a very simple point right at the beginning. You can keep quoting data till the cows come home. The fact is that now, somewhere in the minds of people, if there is the seed of a doubt, and because Rahul Gandhi and the RJD keep saying, look, we gave the Election Commission proof, they did not start an inquiry, they started attacking me, they asked me for an affidavit, hence, dal mein kuch kala hai. Ultimately, and you know this is true, every single politician says this, that chunav to emotion pe lada jata hai. Now, if the emotion of the voter has turned ki kuch dhandlebazi ho rahi hai, you can keep quoting data of Lok Sabha, Telangana, Hyderabad, Maharashtra. The voter will want to punish the dhandlebaz. Sanju Verma. Should the EC have been less defensive?
I'm so glad you asked this question. And this is to all Modi naysayers, including Ashutosh. The limited point is this. I always say, Janta Janardhan hai, jo jeeta wahi Sikandar. And I'll give you an example. The fact of the matter is, ahead of Telangana assembly elections, 22.5 lakh voters were deleted. सबके मुंह में ताला लग गया, जो अपने आप को सेफोलॉजिस्ट कहते हैं, न्यूट्रल पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट कहते हैं.
Okay.
कर्नाटक असेंबली इलेक्शन से पहले 4.28 लाख वोटर्स वर डिलीटेड. बीजेपी लॉस्ट, कांग्रेस वन. ये सारे जो राजनीतिक विश्लेषक हैं, इनके मुंह पर ताला लग गया, मुंह पर दही जम गया. हिमाचल असेंबली इलेक्शंस, इमेजिन, हिमाचल इज अ स्मॉल स्टेट. 2022 असेंबली इलेक्शन से पहले 47,000 वोटर्स वर डिलीटेड इन हिमाचल. बीजेपी's loss margin overall in the state of Himachal Pradesh was just 37,000 votes. हम हार गए इतनी नैरो मार्जिन से. हमने रोना धोना नहीं किया. I think the Janta is interested in data. The Janta is interested not.
Okay, that's your interpretation. Some people think Janta goes by emotion. You're saying Janta is led by data. But one more story about Bihar and politics over the EC, Ashutosh, and I'll give you the funny comment of that. 2005 example I quoted, 1995. T.N. Seshan, as the then Chief Election Commissioner, he postponed the elections in Bihar 4 times. And that time, a livid Lalu Prasad, again, not the BJP, not the Samta Party, a livid Lalu Prasad is on record in this magazine article in 2005 saying कि ये कांग्रेस और बीजेपी के इशारे पर टी.एन. सेशन मुझे खत्म करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Now, politics has happened then over EC. Politics is continuing now over EC. Are facts the casualty and the institution becoming the casualty?
No, I don't think institution becomes a casualty. The institution has got the spine, the institution has got the dignity, then the institution will fight back because, elections are fought on the basis of perception. But the credibility of the institution depends on the truth. If the truth of the matter is once elections happen, then everybody have no other option than to believe. And I can take you back in 1972-73 when Balraj Madhok was very stalwart with Jansangh. He said the elections are being manipulated because the kind of ballot papers which is the ink on the ballot papers are used were drying, and those who were voting for the Jansangh, it's not going for the Jansangh. What happened? Matter has gone to the High Court, and the High Court has said it's all rubbish. And the similar thing happened after.
And similarly, the Bombay High Court also rubbished this entire Maharashtra vote chori argument. The Bombay High Court very clearly said that we are very upset that you are wasting our time and this appeal is not even worth the paper that is written on. But I'm afraid I'm completely out of time. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Sanju Verma for joining me. This, remember, is going to be an ongoing debate simply because Rahul Gandhi has said that अभी तो ये अंगड़ाई है, आगे और भी बड़ी लड़ाई है. We're waiting for that hydrogen bomb. And speaking of hydrogen bombs, the other big buck bomb today on the buck stops here is Peter Navarro. Donald Trump's advisor, he was not done by accusing India of being the Maharaja of tariffs. So today he decided that he needed to go a step further. In an interview to an American TV network, Navarro tried to justify Trump's 50% tariffs on Indian goods by saying that not only are our tariffs Maharaja-like, but it is the Brahmins who are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people.
I don't understand why he's getting to bed with Putin and Xi Jinping when he's the biggest democracy in the world. So I would just simply say to the Indian people, please understand what's going on here. You got Brahmins profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. We need that to stop.
Now, Navarro can say whatever on earth he wants to say, but what was truly stunning is that when Indians started to hit back, started to clap back at the Trump advisor, there were some within India who were more loyal than the Americans, than the Republicans. They jumped in to explain in detail about how he was not being casteist at all, that he was referring to the Boston Brahmins, which is a reference to the elite of the time, and Indians basically are being stupid because they are not well read enough. One among those people who actually did not even go down the Boston Brahmins route was Congress leader Udit Raj. He said factually what Peter Navarro is saying is absolutely correct. We've got Udit Raj joining us now on the buck stops here. Mr. Udit Raj, can you explain to us how you think that Peter Navarro is in the right or what he has said? How exactly are Brahmins getting into the whole tariff issue?
I disagreed when he said that the Brahmins are getting profits, but certainly the corporate houses are in hand of upper caste. You see, Oxfam report, what it does say, that 25% SC/ST, they share the wealth of the country, say around 3%, and OBC, they are about 50%. Their share in wealth of the nation is about 8 to 9%. So what happened that upper caste, they control the wealth and resources. That's true. That I said. Right. One and second thing is that this is correct that Ambani and Naira, these are the companies which are buying oil and refining and selling it to other countries, European countries. What's wrong in itself?
So you're basically saying that even in this tariff issue, the only people who are profiteering are the upper caste. Do you have any data to bear out your claims?
Why the people? Now listen. Why the people are not getting the benefits? So what happened? We invite America, but what we got?
Mr. Udit Raj, actually it is the people who are getting the benefit. The reason that we continue to buy oil from Russia is because that is what makes oil cheaper for us, the common man who is at the petrol station every day. If we will buy it from America, you and I, and more importantly, the common man might just end up paying 150 rupees per litre. Now, if you're okay with that, fine, go ahead. Maybe we can make like categories, different categories of people who are willing to go along with Pete Navarro and Donald Trump's logic.
We are talking. Now, how can you be so dumb?
Nobody is dumb, sir, and I would request you, I would urge you very strongly to control your language. Of course. I am respectfully asking you to come on my show. Let's be very, very clear that this is a conversation among equals. Kindly do not ever use that word again on my show.
You people build up the narrative. At the time,
what is the narrative?
In 2014 and 2013, what narrative was built?
How much do you think you will have to pay at the pump if we buy oil from America instead of Russia?
Now, what happened? Will you listen to me?
Yes, but you have to answer a specific question.
First, listen to me.
Because you use that word for me, you enlighten me, sir.
Small
Since you are such an evolved person, you enlighten me.
I'm enlightening you. Are not listening.
You will pay for petrol at the pump if we buy oil from America instead of Russia?
You are becoming
Tell me, how much will you pay per litre?
You are, if BJP people have a spokesperson, you are super spokesperson of BJP. I can understand that. See, in a few months' time, our purchases from oil from Russia has increased phenomenally. What benefit the common people have got? Tell me, the diesel and petrol prices have been reduced, have come down. Who's benefiting it?
I will not. I will not do what you very conveniently resort to, name calling. But actually, if you do any amount of reading, the basic Google, you don't even have to go in depth.
You are running away from the facts.
That we were actually told by the Americans to buy Russian oil Because
already
that's the only way
you
to
have a
stabilize
mindset.
oil
You have
prices.
mindset. Of
But
course, you
anyway,
have a
sir, I
mindset
think
to
it is a
support.
very
But
convenient
facts is,
toolkit
can
that
you?
most
You
people
see,
resort to.
in
One,
3, 4,
name
5.
calling. Two, saying, oh, this is a BJP WhatsApp that you're quoting. No, I'm not, sir. I'm completely capable, contrary to what you think, of reading up and understanding issues.
You are not
But
capable.
since you asked a specific
Even if
question,
you are capable, then you are not becoming honest to yourself.
And I find it
No,
quite
you are not
tragic
capable.
that you
How can
should
you
have
say
to
that if
defend a
we would have
racist
not
American.
got
As
royal
an
oil
Indian,
from Russia,
sir,
then
the last thing you
the
should be
prices
doing
would have
is
gone
defending
up.
a racist
How are you
American.
saying it?
It's
Because
bad
in
enough
few
to
months
defend
of
a
time,
racist.
few weeks of
It's
time,
worse that you are defending a
started
racist American
purchasing
of an
more in bulk
establishment that outs to get
oil
you.
from
Let me
Russia.
also
Before
get in.
that,
Let me also
we
get
were
in Professor Hindol
procuring
Sen
more
Gupta
from Iran
from the
and other
OP Jindal
countries.
University.
And how
Hindol Sen Gupta, if you can quickly respond
that
to
benefit?
the 2 points that Mr. Udit Raj has raised. One, that it's dumb to suggest that buying oil from Russia is helping the common man in India in any way. It's always the poorest and the downtrodden who are facing the pinch, and the upper caste and the Brahmins who are profiteering. What do you say to that?
I don't debate at the level of people like Udit Raj. However, I am happy to say the following. If he stops shouting, I'm happy to say the
Who are
following.
controlling the wealth in this country? That is correct.
I cannot say anything unless you know, if one person is constantly shouting. Well, there's a very simple thing in this. I don't think this was said, this entire Brahmin thing was said innocently. This has been going on for a long time. The caste fissure is a very prominent fissure in Indian politics. This has been exploited for many, many years. This comes from the colonial period, but of course, in recent times also it has been exploited again and again. And I think there are many sections of Western intelligence here who realize that the caste fissure is one of the most potent fissure through which India can be attacked and India's growth can be hampered. So I don't think Mr. Navarro has said something very innocently, and I do not think he was referring to the Boston Brahmins. He knew exactly what he was talking about. He knew that this would trigger a caste debate in India, and indeed it has. If you look at all the prominent castes or so-called caste handles on social media, they've immediately picked this up. And this was all concentrated. I don't think any of this is an accident. Also, by the way, I think really some people should go and check for all the screaming and shouting about how it's benefiting billionaires and so on and so forth. Actually, the tariffs that has been announced by Trump, in fact, skirts very cleverly some key products which the US needs via the Indian purchases of oil. Please remember, India started buying larger quantities of oil only because the Biden administration requested us to stabilize global prices. So there are many layers of nuance here which are never discussed and they should be brought out. However, going back to your first and initial question.
What do you make of the argument that most of the businesses who stand to gain, and this was Mr. Udit Raj's argument, that essentially what Peter Navarro meant was that the businessmen are all upper caste Indians. The common man is always being, bled dry, as it were. Even the benefits of cheaper oil never percolate to the man on the street. And that's why he was
There's a fundamental and basic lack of economic understanding in this argument. If the price of oil goes up, please ask anybody who says this to do the calculation. I don't think even Peter Navarro has done this calculation. If India stops buying oil from Russia, entirely stops buying oil from Russia, there's already an embargo on Venezuela, on Iran. If this actually happens, what will be the global price of oil and what would be the impact on prices on everything in India, and who's going to suffer from the impact of that inflation? Please make that calculation. I do not think people who are shouting and screaming on your channel know this at all or understand this at all. They should calculate how prices will go up and what will be the impact of those high prices, which is going to be tragic and absolutely devastating for many economies, including India's economy. Please see what has happened in Bangladesh because of this inflation. The same thing was going to happen to us.
Ashutosh, I saw you shaking your head. You disagree with this argument?
See, I think I'm not passing any comment to anybody, but I think we are missing the main point. Why Peter Navarro has been unleashed on India. This is not the first time he had spoken something like this in such a derogatory fashion. a day before, he tweeted 9 tweets were there on his timeline, and where he was left, right, and center abusing everybody, even the top business in the country, in the top, and without naming, everybody knew about whom he was talking to. The fact of the matter is that then Mr. Navarro, under the pretext of, under the instruction of somebody in the White House, is out to humiliate India. That's the bottom line. And I think that this is the right time that India should also unleash some Indian Peter Navarro to reply them in the same coin. Unless we do that, see, this is getting too long. Because Mr. Trump understands only when he is given back in the same coin. When the Chinese gave them back, and Mr. Trump didn't know what to do. So they escalated to 145%, and finally it came down to 35%. No, see, one can also always argue back that India is not like China. But the fact is, India is a civilizational country. And when India was a civilizational country, where was the Americans?
No, but what do you
250
make?
years back, there was no America.
Here the finer point was that fine, you have an opinion, there is general ignorance, but this racist turn that the entire criticism of India has taken on part of some in the American establishment, you agree that it's racist? Ashutosh, you agree that it's racist and it's deliberate?
I will not say it's racist or what. See, I'll simply put it that there is a gunda out there. He wants to intimidate everybody.
No, intimidation is one thing, but casteist, racist slur, that's quite another thing. And is that being done deliberately to exacerbate the caste fault lines? You know, there is this very set toolkit which works in India to try and widen the fissures there. And somehow somebody has told the Trump administration, this is India's weakest point.
See, I don't think he means that. He basically wants to humiliate us because we are not willing to surrender to the whims and fancies of Mr. Donald Trump. The fact of the matter is that India needs to reply back in the same coin with the same ferocity of words. Only then he will understand. I don't say that Mr. Narendra Modi should come out, but I think we should invent an Indian Peter Navarro who should give back to Mr. Trump in the same coin. Only then he'll understand.
Ashutosh, in a lighter vein, why don't you reply to him? Do you have a fair idea of how to reply to Peter Navarro?
I'm nobody.
On Twitter. You're so popular on Twitter. You've got a very, very popular YouTube show as well. Why don't you make a video and address it to Peter Navarro?
See, Padmaja, why Peter Navarro is taken seriously? Because Peter Navarro is a Donald Trump's trade advisor. So somebody whose proximity is important. So somebody closer to the Prime Minister, or somebody who is part of the corridor, he has to give back, not necessarily.
Okay, Hindosh and Gupta, respond to that. One, not racism, more an intention to humiliate, and maybe we need to pay him back in the same coin.
No, I'm happy that Ashutosh and I have found common ground. He said India is a civilizational state. I entirely agree. I'm also very happy and delighted that Ashutosh feels that we should have wolf warrior diplomats or speakers on our own side. All of this is very happy to hear. However, I have only one contention. Number one, I only disagree with Ashutosh that I think this is a deeper malaise. This has been going on for a long time. And as I said, Padmaja, this caste fissure thing is being stoked again and again. And I think this is being done deliberately. I take the point that there is also an element to try and humiliate India, but I think India is doing the right thing. We are showing exemplary patience and we are showing exemplary reticence. We don't have to go down to Peter Navarro's level. We are doing what we are doing, and the whole world is saying. The entire American media is today full of conversation about what's happening or what happened in the SCO summit. So we are doing what we need to do. Should we be more aggressive? That's a decision for the government to take. My only disagreement is that this caste fissure is definitely being stoked and nudged again and again. And I do think that there are people in India who are taking the cue immediately to try and stoke this. And this is very bad news. This has always been bad news, and this continues to be bad news.
I don't agree with him. See, in diplomacy, sometimes it doesn't pay being a nice boy. You have to be nasty at some point of time. The Iranians have mastered the art. Even after being attacked by the Israelis and the Americans, and Ayatollah Khamenei has given them back, left, right, and center. Sometimes these people, they understand when they are attacked in the same coin. See, Anyway, Americans, the Trump is not doing any favor to us. What he is doing, what he wants to do. So whether you be a nice boy or the bad boy doesn't matter.
Okay, that's one point of view, but many people would also say that the picture of Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi today in Tianjin is worth much, much more than any Navarro-like rant from an Indian figure. Listen, India knows how to respond. India will respond in its own way, in its own time. But one thing is absolutely clear, that if Peter Navarro thinks that he is going to stoop that low to take up a casteist line, insult India and get away with it unchallenged, well, on that particular assumption, the buck stops here. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining me here. Taking a very quick break, more on the other side.
फिनेस्टा विंडोज, ब्यूटीफुल एंड ड्यूरेबल डिजाइन्स, इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनेस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
Finer Finesta.
माय बर्थडे गिफ्ट टू पापा, ये उनके पापा की पहली गाड़ी एक गराज में पड़ी थी दार्जिलिंग में, फिर 3 मैकेनिक, पेंटिंग, पॉलिशिंग। जब इसे फाइनली घर लाया ना, तब लगा लाइफ में ग्रो किया है। बुलाओ।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
Okay, and on the buck stops here, we leave you with the image of the day. Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin traveled in the same vehicle to the destination of their bilateral meeting, which was the hotel of the Russian president. After the proceedings at the SCO summit venue in Tianjin, a vision